I wanna I wanna I wanna rave like back in the day. Won't hold back in the nighttime, rolling, no mistake. With my crew at the front, you know that's how we play. Take me back to the time, y'all, two-step to the baseline and rhyme line.
We interviewed someone from every floor in every building in Merrill. In order to investigate the intricacies of Merrill's social life. We each took on a more narrow aspect relating to the broad idea of the Merrill social experience. I took on diversity, Leo took on the unique atmosphere, and Rex took on freedom and comfort, all in order to see if Merrillites would like to see their social life improved. I studied diversity as it relates to the Merrill social experience, and some of my findings, more concrete, were the fact that the use of social spaces is very diverse. Merrill students from C&D kind of tend to stick to their own lounges and own study areas, whereas A and B residents don't have lounges like that, so they tend to use things like Casa Latina and the Baobab Lounge. Additionally, we met a very diverse array of people with different pronouns, people from vastly different areas of California, yet they all gave similar answers regarding their regarding the social experience at Merrill. It's diverse, yet everybody almost moves in sync. Nearly everybody went to the forest, but for very different reasons. Some for partying, some for hiking, and even to use drugs as the Merrill person describes it. The Merrill person said drugs provide another mediating factor. Drug users get together with drug users in different units. Additionally, there were very diverse friend groups. Some people hang out with people outside of Merrill. Others don't know anybody outside of Merrill.
And have you met people from outside of Merrill yet?
I have not really met many people.
Okay. Have you met other people that are not from Merrill College?
Yeah, I've met a bunch of people from my class who lives basically just everywhere on the campus and off campus as well.
It's a nice blend of diversity and familiarity. And in my own experience, the diversity of my upbringing and my interests compared to the interests of the people around me in Merrill have allowed for me to build great relationships with these people, as we can have great conversations and discourses about complex topics, which helps bring us closer together. Everybody treats each other with respect as well.
Pretty much welcome you in open arms for the most part. Among with the peers here, majority of them, give respect towards each other. None of them are in the way, but at the same time, they don't ignore you. It's almost like, a perfect little community here.
Everyone seems very helpful. They seem very cool, very chill. No negative, just all positive.
Awesome. Which was another answer that we found to be very common during our interviews. People feel respected by students, staff, faculty, and everybody here at Merrill.
Merrill's uniquely chill atmosphere is something that I'm really just beginning to understand. When I first came to UCSC, I had no clue what Merrill was about, and I don't even remember what I put it on my ranked choice list for colleges. When I first got here, I thought the people were solitary, maybe unhappy. I thought no one really knew how to have fun, and I felt kind of a hero complex to change the vibe at Merrill. Some great important mission I felt like rested on me to turn Merrill into what I thought my college experience would be like. Over time, though, I did accept that things wouldn't really change, and I didn't really appreciate or understand Merrill at first. And it took time, and really just after this project, I feel like I have a new perspective. The Merrill person says that the strengths of Merrill's theme are not readily obvious as a result of its nebulous nature. Page 186 in the course reader. And I think this theme that you have to uncover is kind of mirrored or echoed in the interviews that I did. Donnie Ram from Merrill C describes dorm life as having a friendly or chill atmosphere.
Do a couple things here and there. In fact, just this past Monday, we went out for dinner at a good decent place. One of those Chili's.
Oh.
And had a good hour and a half. We introduced one of my roommates to Chili's. Apparently he hasn't been there. So that was a fun experience nonetheless. And then over around with the floor mates too. I mean, there's always the common, hey, how you doing? Common things like this, a lot more friendly, chill vibe to say the least.
Rem depicts Merrill's more low-key atmosphere in a very positive way, however. He doesn't say bad things about it. He explains that Merrill is not a loud party college, but demonstrates that this is a strength and this is a positive thing, not something that should be looked down upon. Rem describes his dorm experience again in a very positive way. He actually told us that he became best friends with his freshman year roommate.
In fact, looking back to my freshman year 2 years ago, ironically, one of my neighbors who lived right next to me in the same floor we were ended up becoming one of my best and closest friends, and being able to have that connection. And like I said, I had no idea that would happen. I thought it would be just like a normal neighbor. We just shared such similar traits and whatnot. And next thing we've been close friends ever since. And then same thing around with my original roommates. Again, there's one. Again, I was the first year at the time. He was third year, and he pretty much took me under his wing. And then we pretty much still talk here and there.
And then he also explains that Merrill supports its students and their preferences extremely well. He says that there's something for everyone at Merrill. It's easy to fit in here. It's a productive environment that he really enjoys. And I also asked Rebecca Gomez from Merrill A, what about Merrill that she thought should change? To which she said, I kind of like how things are, actually.
I kind of like how things are, honestly, just like that.
This answer demonstrated to me her contentment with Merrill. Throughout all the interviews, I didn't see a lot of things that people really wanted to change, or a lot of reasons why people didn't like the social life at Merrill. I saw more contentment, and I saw Merrill's unique atmosphere as more of a strength than a weakness. Whether Rebecca, Ram, or another interviewee, consistent throughout all of my interviews was a special affinity for the vibe at Merrill. And people kind of just like the way that it is here. They don't really want it to change.
For my piece of the Merrill project, I selected to research the freedom and comfort experienced by Merrillites. An opening quote that really piqued my interest in observing social life was described on the first page of the Merrill Person, that everyone who came to Merrill was already a Merrill person. This was expressed on page 180. Throughout Merrill's history, one thing has remained the same. People have had a view of its people, whether that be in a good way or in a bad way. This opinionated view of people is just a natural reaction. An example, I compare the different colleges like different ways of life. When I'm in Rachel Carson, it feels like I'm in a beautiful white suburb. And then when I'm in Cowell, I feel like I'm in a commune, kind of like one you would see in East Germany. Then Merrill, I feel comfortable. This feeling was also expressed by others in our interviews across all of the Merrill buildings.
Yeah, but like the dorms are nice and my floor is nice and having the market's nice and the dining hall is better than it could be, so
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. I like it so far, I just, chill most of the time, do schoolwork and just chill most of the time. So, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with that,
Awesome.
This is why I feel like Merrillites do not have the obsession of having a massive amount of things to do. They are happy the way they are. Another quote that connects to that is, there is really no social life at Merrill, and Merrill's social life is primarily its freedom, also expressed in the Merrill Person. Along with freedom, people are free to express whatever they please, whether it be their varying sexualities or their common likes and dislikes. A piece I was acquainted with during my first quarter at Merrill is the addiction assistance services here that exist alongside SHOP. Merrill even hosts a weekly AA meeting in the Charles E. Merrill Lounge on Tuesday nights, something that I was pretty impressed with coming into Merrill, especially someone like me who deals with addiction issues. Merrill's a safe place. Residents lack the need or want to judge anyone.
I will say this floor is very welcoming. No one's judgmental, no one's weird about anything. Well, most people aren't weird about anything, it's very easy to have conversations with each other. No one gets in anyone's way, so I think it's very welcoming.
Awesome.
This unjudgmental factor allows our community to exist in harmony. Another piece I was curious about was whether people actually wander the forest as I do?
I spent a lot of time in upper campus, but not a lot lately. The other day, I was in Poganip.
Oh, nice.
Looking for salamanders.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you been like Pogonip, like the upper campus?
Everywhere, bro.
Everywhere?
Everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sick, sick.
I was just in the forest earlier today.
Oh, awesome. You like it?
Yeah.
I love it. It's awesome. This is one of the gifts Merrill brings people. We are directly in the forest, and right behind us are endless hiking trails. A person of the outdoors' paradise. The forest acts in many different ways for many different people, but one similarity is that it serves as a place to relax and decompress after a long day of class or where someone is having a rough time. Not to say other colleges don't have access to stuff like this, but we're obviously just better. This is why I chose Merrill. It's location and freedom. Freedom to do and exist however you would like, along with the luxuries like being able to walk outside your dorm and have a grocery store, which really makes up for the dining hall. Merrill, I believe, is quite unique in its people, location, and energy, a tight-knit community of different and like-minded people that creates a harmonious existence. The culmination of this is that Merrill is perfect the way it is. People are happy, and that's all that really matters.
Expounding on the interpersonal differences, I felt that the diversity of Merrill's student body, interpersonal relationships, friend groups, places to socialize, landscape, and ideas/interests all allow for Merrill to become the place that it is. Everyone's intersectionality comes together to make Merrill as a whole. Just as mentioned in the Merrill person isn't an individual, it's the culmination of the different ideas and obvious diversity which make up our community. As a whole, Merrill encompasses all the diverse aspects that make this college a great place to live.
Adding on, I agree with what both of they said, and in my own research, I found that the Merrill social experience is how it is to best suit Merrill residents. Merrillites do not seek to change it, and people are genuinely happy with the way things operate here. The chill atmosphere at Merrill is a strength of the college, not a weakness, and it contributes to the inclusivity, fostering a sense of belonging, authenticity, and genuineness amongst Merrill students. These students value the uniqueness and comfortable living community that we have at Merrill over the normality and spectacle of what you would consider the average college experience.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. I feel like absolutely nothing needs to be changed for Merrill social life, and I think everybody we interviewed would agree with that.
And that's all that's it about. Be happy, and I feel like Merrill does it quite well. And even though that some of us may have our differences in very small ways, we all have this ability that due to us being together, we can exist so perfectly. And I feel like that's what makes it Merrill, rather than people are saying, oh, we're sterile. Oh, how does that make any sense? We're all great people if you just give them the chance to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I came into this project thinking, what do people want to see changed? What do people want to see improved? Why is Merrill social life the way that it is? And the answers I found were not straightforward. They were answering a different question, which is, why is Merrill social life, why does it work the way that it is? And I think we found that normality is it just doesn't exist here, and the uniqueness of Merrill is its greatest strength.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like the Merrill person said, tribes not needing any other sort of outside social contact to thrive.
All the way up, no problem, let that big sound play. I'm allowed him in my buckle, around with my lemonade. Take me back to the time, gal, two-step to the bass, line and rhyme, line and rhyme.